I'm going to go over the implementation I did for the Airwiggles implement tournament. In this video, I'm mostly going to focus on the RTPC and the engine implementation. So let me play the game. So the game is fairly simple: fly around, shoot the asteroids, and avoid them. Big shout out to John Kelleher for making this game for us to use, and the entire Airwiggles team for setting up the contest. So now I'm going to replay the game, but this time I'm going to mute all the audio and just focus on the numbers on the top left. So right now the top speed by not boosting is around 12,000. And then now when we boost, it should go up to around 25,000 if we round up. So that's good parameters right there for us to set for our RTPC. Let's switch on over to Wise. So here I have an engine blend where I blended in an engine idle sound, a boosted engine sound, and some wind sound. So whenever the engine is boosting, you can feel the intensity with wind. So for my RTPCs, I just use a simple volume pitch and a low pass filter. So I head on over to my game parameters and look at my engine speed. Here I set the max to 25,000 because that's the max speed the ship will ever go. And I'll set the default to 0 because we start off in 0, and the minimum also 0. So now going back to the space engine, let's take a listen to the blend. As you can see, the pitch is going higher the faster this ship goes, and that's exactly what we want. So now I'm going to switch over to the Unreal Engine and implement my blueprint. So I want the engine to start playing as soon as the game starts. So I'm going to go over to my event begin play, and I'm going to add the engine right there. So I'm going to add my engine blend and reset my RTPC just in case. And then I am going to my movement events and add the RTPC and set the game parameter to engine speed. And we want the value to be forward speed because the forward speed are the numbers that we're going to need to trigger the pitch and the blends. So let's play the game one more time. Perfect. So we hear the engine start right when I hit begin play. We also hear the pitch shift up the faster the ship goes, and we also hear the nice blend between the idle sound and the boosted sound. Now on to the steering. So I set an RTPC where I put the value of it to the input of X because the input of X is the only one that's changing. And I switched the RTPC to the engine turn game parameter. So if we take a look at the game, input of X is 1 for right and -1 for left. Now we head on over to Wise and we take a look at our game syncs and the game parameters. And here on engine turn, I have the minimum to -1 and the maximum to 1. And the default will be 0 since we're starting off at 0. So I'm going to head on over to my engine blend. And here we can see the voice pitch RTPC I set up. So both sides are going to be at -150 for the pitch. And now let's give it a listen in Wise. Let me just set this down. All right, that's sounding good. So let's head on over to the game and test it out. Cool. So now I'm going to go over how I implemented the rest. So when on the thrust started and the thrust stopped, I just added a regular post event, and I also added the robot glitch sound effects right when the thrust starts. And then for the boosting events, similar. On the boost start and the boost down, I added the respective events. And then I also added the glitch robots when both of them are activated. And then the shoot lasers, I added a post event right where it starts. So every time when you shoot it, it will play a sound effect. And it sounds like this. Perfect. So I'm going to switch on over to Wise, and I'm going to show you how that looks like. So these are both my boosted sounds. And I believe I added some distortion effects to them. Yeah, I have some guitar distortion on both of them. This is the thrust down, which has a little bit of trem. Then the thrust up. It has a slight bit of trem on it. I don't want to make it too tremmy. Then these are my laser sounds in a random container. My robot glitch droid sound effects also in a random container. I thought it would give the ship a little bit more character. And then these are the ones when you collide with an asteroid. This is the space engine isolated. Really liked how it came out. That's it for this video. I'll be making another video going over my asteroid whooshes and the asteroid collisions. So see you then.